Today I'm at Vision Engineering's headquarters in Woking in Surrey, and I'm with the company's group product manager, Steve Sanderson, to talk about a new 3D stereoscope, the ProteQ, is it Viso 3D?
Right.
Viso 3D digital stereo microscope. Steve, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Dave.
And I say again because it wasn't that long ago that I saw you last, and that was at Southern Manufacturing with the EvoCam Halo. Are you guys normally so prolific with new product releases? So that's 2 quite big releases in a year. What's a typical sort of new development, cycle with a new product?
Oh, well, we're always developing. It's one of the things that I've noticed while I've been at Vision Engineering is that we're always working on new products, developing existing products to improve them, or just to make new products that do things that are new or different or better. And we've got all designers here in house in Woking. We've got our own sort of production engineering teams who kind of take designs and help them make them more productionized, make them easier to make, and more reliable to make. Our own machine shop, and so we've got the capability, and it's something our management are very keen on, about bringing out new, innovative products that do things better or differently.
So, what actually drives new products? Is it customers? I mean, how do you know what to work on, or is it?
It's a balance of things. Mainly we want to talk to our customers. If a customer says, "I need this," and then another customer says, "I need this," we've definitely got to listen to them. We've got to listen to them first, for one. But if there's a group and a movement, you think, well, we need to meet our customers' needs. And as a company, it's good business to do that. But we also try and look at what's happening in the market, what's happening in terms of technology generally. There's moves towards more automation, or making things easier, more efficient. I get asked. I was asked the other day to help somebody, and they were trying to improve their inspection process time, reduce it from 8 seconds to 5 seconds. And time is money. And if we can do things to make people's lives easier, make things be faster, or do things better, then it's good for them. It's good for us, and we just want to keep that constant improvement going.
And that was behind the ProteQ. That was the obviously the reason why this exists was because of feedback from the marketplace. And
it was, yeah. It comes as a development from our digital stereo DRV Z1. The DRV Z1 we brought out probably
a few years now, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember. It's sort of 2 or 3 years ago, maybe 4 even.
Maybe a bit longer.
Somewhere around there. But it's a development from there, because the digital stereo benefit, the fact that we can then you can share that 3-dimensional view anywhere, has been something that's been really appreciated by customers. And Viso kind of builds on that in terms of being slightly smaller footprint, being able to add additional digital tools, things like overlays and sort of measurement, all built within the system. And so it kind of takes what we've got with the DRV. We've taken features from some of our mono cameras and kind of combining them into the Viso, which is a progression from what we've already had.
So this was launched at EMO, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, that's our first sort of official showing of it. It was at EMO. So it's kind of we're starting to talk to people about it now, really. But this what we can't show on people's TV screens on their phones, where they'll be looking at this, is the view you get from a 3D screen here. So although the screen looks like a normal flat monitor, that 3-dimensional projection that it delivers is something you kind of got to be there to see it. And so going to a show like EMO, where lots of people can come along, definitely. They can see it, and you get that kind of wow of people going, "Oh wow, that's quite surprising."
Yeah, it's something you literally have to see in the flesh.
Absolutely, yeah.
How does it sit in the range?
It fills what we see as being a developing area of the market. Is kind of where we're going. We've got the DRV as an established digital stereo product, which is good. But some of the feedback from customers is they need their spaces at premium, particularly in clean rooms and in areas. But if you can have a slightly smaller unit, space is really useful. And so this is a more compact system. And in terms of the rest of the range, and there are modular elements to Viso. So we've got it on this particular ergo stand. We've got a range of stands that it will fit with as well, to make it most appropriate for different working environments, depending on what people need.
Where's this going to live?
Most of our systems are built to be rugged, and so that you'd have them perhaps beside the line or on the shop floor. But it's, it could be used in a separate lab. The idea being that because you can connect it, you can have it, say on the shop floor, assuming it's not too dirty.
Yeah.
Need to keep the screen clean, but the rest of it, we've got large knobs on it, so you've got easy to control, even if you're wearing gloves and things. So it's designed to be used, not just to be looked at and treated super carefully.
No. So it's the auto stereo display that's the sort of key thing here, isn't it? It enables. Just talk me through that. It basically enables, true flat screen 3D image viewing without special glasses or eyepieces and stuff like that. It's literally 3D from a 2D source almost, isn't it?
It's a very clever technology. So the bottom half of the Viso, this is like a conventional stereo microscope.
Yeah.
So you've got two optical paths that come through here, and then those two optical paths, one for the left eye view, one for the right eye view, are captured in two cameras that we've got here. Now what the screen does, the really clever bit about the screen, is we've got some cameras on here that detect the user's eyes and will track the position of the left eye and right eye. And then using some clever bit inside, it projects a different image to your left eye and right eye. So although we were sitting here looking at a screen, when it's detected the user's eyes, what the user sees in the right eye is different to what they see in the left eye. Same as when you look down the street. You look down the street, you see a slightly different view from the right eye and the left eye. That's why we understand 3D. Same with Viso, a slightly different view from right eye and left eye means we can understand the parts we're looking at in 3D.
And of course, eyes are supposed to work in stereo, really, aren't
they? They do. There's actually a small number of people in the world who can't perceive stereo, but most people can, and we do, and that's how we can catch balls and do the things we do.
So the cameras on the back, they will literally pick your eyes out.
So the cameras on the screen they track your eyes. So it's not just that your eyes are there as you move. It will change the way it projects the image. So it's projecting the right eye image always to your right eye, and left eye image always to your left eye.
So I guess that negates the need to sit in a specific position for this to work.
Absolutely. So
people don't just sit still, do they?
Oh, people don't, and have that freedom of movement. And it might not seem like a lot, but the fact that you just move comfortably and naturally as you do during the day is much more comfortable. To sit in a fixed, rigid position, which is really hard. And with a conventional binocular microscope, you'd have to do that. But with Viso, you don't.
Is the and it uses an IPS LCD display.
Yeah.
Is that an important aspect of this? Does it have to be a certain type of display?
It's the quality of the display that gives a quality image. And so having the IPS display, it's a 4K display, but it's not projecting for all 4K because we're splitting the image to left eye, right eye. But then your brain combines that again. So they're kind of quite how it resolves how you see it in final as to your perception. Perception is a high quality image, but with the depth of the 3D.
The auto stereo technology is not exclusive to you guys, is it?
It's not, no.
Is it incorporated into any of your other products?
Not at the moment.
But once you've got this off the ground and up and running, I guess it will find its way into.
Yeah, but auto stereo is a technology that's out there, and other people use it. What we've done is the tricky bit is applying that to a microscope, because getting the alignment so you can have the user comfort, the viewing comfort from the closer working distance, and that's taken quite a bit of tuning actually from our design guys.
Yeah.
And optical engineers have worked quite hard on getting that just right, because it has to be very precise to be visually comfortable.
So without auto stereo, could the same 3D result be achieved? I guess you'd have to wear eyepieces and glasses. And how would you do it before if you wanted to achieve a similar result, or couldn't you do it?
Oh, we could, and we do it with all of our products. Not our 2D products, but all of our stereo products. So Lynx Evo, what it does, it has a similar zoom to this, where we have optical paths here, but then the optical channels for left eye, right eye are projected optically into the user's eyes. And so then you understand the 3D and see the depth in the image, because you've got that different view from right eye and left eye through the optical head. We've got our DRV Z1 system, which does a similar thing by projecting the separate images to your left eye and right eye, but it's a larger system, and so the Viso kind of compacts that down to give a very compact system, but essentially doing the same thing of projecting a different image from your right eye and left eye to give that depth.
So looking at the sort of benefits of stereo operation, obviously there are advantages operationally and ergonomically. What types of parts or components would actually benefit from stereo inspection?
We live in a 3D world, and we generally make three-dimensional things. So anything that's got any shape to it, really. I mean, we see things as small as small channels kind of cut into surfaces, even things like surface finish and surface roughness.
There's a 3D element to it.
Even though things with texture is just 3 dimensions, but at a very small scale. And with a stereo system, you can perceive texture that you can't do on a 2-dimensional system.
And I guess some types of flaws and defects are only visible in 3D. You're not going to see it in 2D.
Absolutely,
or at least all of it.
Yeah, absolutely. They stand out more because you have the depth, and that our brains are really clever things. So how the smallest difference between your right eye view and your left eye view becomes apparent very, very easily.
Yeah.
A lot more than if you've seen the same thing in your left eye, right eye, and looking for a crack or some sort of defect.
I understand there's a 10-to-1 optical zoom on this.
That's correct.
Well. Yeah.
I can demonstrate. We can zoom out.
Here's one. We might
do that.
Yeah. Pretty easy to use. Pretty obvious, but it works. And it can be magnification up to 314. I read somewhere.
That's right.
Times.
Yeah.
So you can get right in there and see all the detail. It can also be used with your oblique direct viewer as well. What does that add? What does that bring to the party?
The oblique direct viewer is it's a special optic, and what it does is it brings in the ability to manipulate the view rather than manipulate a sample. Here we've got a shaft that we can move, and it's quite straightforward. So it's not not the lightest thing in the world, but it's movable. Some parts are very large and hard to manipulate, especially at magnification. So if you would need to say look down a ball, make sure all the threads are clear or something. With the oblique and direct viewer, you have firstly the direct view that looks straight down, and then the oblique view that looks to a 34-degree angle, and then will rotate around that central point of interest. So if you need to look down a ball, you can check all the threads are clear from above and rotate around it.
The aspects around it as well.
Yeah.
That's very, very handy in certain applications.
Yeah.
And then of course there's the ergonomic side. So I know you guys are really big on ergonomics, and it's all about strain and posture and fatigue and all that sort of thing. That was a big consideration in the design of this, I take it.
It is. Ergonomics are a big thing for vision engineering. It does, as you say, with our links, with our Mantis, with our DRV systems, we're always thinking about kind of the user's experience. From little things like I've been having big controls on it, so you can use it with gloves, making that interaction more easily to the user's sitting position. Primarily, the ergonomics of being able to sit comfortably and have a bit of movement as you would naturally move around. Makes the user's experience much more comfortable, which means their concentration levels can stay higher.
Especially when you're kind of sitting there for a long time. It's like when you sit at a computer for too long, it just gets uncomfortable, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and conventional binocular microscopes are really kind of quite bad in terms of ergonomics. And what we've tried to do as a vision is to try and give people that comfortable postural position of being able to sit comfortably, look at the screen as you would normally, and also the eye comfort that comes with it. So if people need to wear spectacles to correct any eye problems they've got, they can just do that and look easily and comfortably at the system. It makes it a lot easier to use.
It doesn't only work in stereo, it's got like a mono aspect to it for collaborations.
That's it.
I was reading somewhere, so I suppose if you're looking to share information with colleagues and stuff like that, image captures, reports, that type of thing, that's an important aspect of this, obviously.
Totally.
Designed in.
Totally. It's all designed together. So the 3D view is great because it gives the operator that depth perception, but it does only directly the view to one user's eyes.
Yeah.
And if you want to work as a team, you switch it to the 2D mode. You have then the power of the finger to be able to point and say, this is what we're looking
with
at.
A customer application, you could get a customer involved, and you're inspecting his parts. Absolutely. And you can show him what's going on.
Absolutely, and more than that, actually, because we can stream between the systems. If your customer has one and you have one, rather than sending parts backwards and forwards, and it could take 2 or 3 days to ship a part backwards and forwards, you can put the item underneath the system and have simultaneous 3D viewing of the same part. So that means that those decision-making processes and the time needed drops dramatically, and it's speeding up the whole validation of new parts, checking parts, and resolving problems much quicker.
What do you think the target markets are going to be? I know your stuff's, a lot of applications you can use it on, from PCBs to metallic parts and all kinds of stuff. Is there a target market for this you've got your eye on, or is it sort of all things to all men and different applications?
The sales part of it says we'll sell anything to anybody. But the reality is, I think what we'll see is it offers real benefits to people who are working across sites and people who need to collaborate.
Yeah. So
that could be somebody in a clean room need to talk to somebody, or even a workshop need to talk to a quality manager. If they can share that image by pushing a button, and rather than wait for the quality manager to wander down, or it's a quick decision. And this, as we know, time is money. But that decision could be connection, and decision could be between sites. So it could be between a customer and supplier, where you have to kind of share a view and make sure if it's a problem, it's resolved, or where you're just sharing the quality of the workmanship that you've done. And that can be done, and that could be anywhere in the world, at an instant.
Is there any optional extras for it, or is it that's what it is?
No, we've got a whole range of accessories and things.
I thought you might have.
We do. It's part the way we design our products. We try to kind of keep as much modularity as we can do, and so we have got different lighting for different types of subjects, different stands for different environments.
Okay.
And we were trying to make it as
we spoke earlier about the price, didn't we?
Yes.
The press release says about 12K. That's the starting price, but you're saying it's coming in a little bit below.
It's actually, it's nice to say we've come in below that. Less than
the price of the press release.
Less than we expected. As a working system, starting price is £10,900, which we think is a very really good competitive price for what we can offer.
Okay, Steve, I think I'm just about done with the questions. Is there anything you'd like to add that we haven't covered?
Yeah, I'd just like to be clear, because one of the things that Viso brings is ability to work in sort of new ways and different ways. The fact that we can not just capture the 3D image and see it here, we can capture stills and videos and then share them throughout the whole supply chain in 3D. And that means that the details like contamination, surface finish, textures can be perceived. Things that can't be perceived on a 2-dimensional image can actually be perceived in 3 dimensions, whether that is with your customer, with your supplier, all the way through that supply chain. So to see the details very clearly in full 3D, and even working across time zones. We have the ability to save that 3D view, send that to somebody in a different time zone, and they can then play that back on one of these systems and see that 3-dimensional view with the movement of a video, even, which overcomes any ambiguities you'd get with a 2-dimensional system. Things like differences in the surface that might appear as changes of colour could actually be changes in texture, and you can only see that with a 3D system, and Viso will do that.
So anybody in the equation, supply chain, who's got one of these, you can see everything as if you're sitting in front of it.
Oh yeah, also all through the business as well. So if you think of the way businesses will flow, it could be supply chain of goods into the company. Yeah. It could be through prototyping and new product development. It could be prototyping for customers or with suppliers, and then all the way through assembly, and then sort of final quality, and showing that final quality to your customers. That and all those parts can benefit from seeing the full 3-dimensional nature of the subject with the system.
That's a really important aspect to this, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff, Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you.